In the heart of Suffolk, in the east of England, there lies a small, quiet village called Woolpit. Today, it's just another name on the map, surrounded by green fields and stone cottages. But nearly 1,000 years ago, this very place was the stage for one of the most inexplicable mysteries in British history. A tale as ancient as it is disturbing, one that still defies logic and invites those who hear it to step into a world where fact and folklore blur together. The story begins in the 12th century, during the reign of King Stephen, between the years 1135 and 1154. It was a time of civil war, political unrest, and uncertain borders. But none of that could have prepared the villagers of Woolpit for what was about to unfold. One day, while working near the so-called wolf pits, deep holes dug to trap wolves, locals spotted two small figures emerging from the nearby woods. A girl and a boy. Both looked lost, disoriented, and their skin was a vivid shade of green. It wasn't just their color that shocked the villagers. Their clothes were woven from unfamiliar fabrics, cut in patterns no one had seen before. And when they tried to speak, not a soul could understand them. They spoke in a language unknown to anyone in England or in Europe, for that matter. The children were taken to the home of a local landowner. There, they refused all food, bread, meat, even cooked vegetables. 4 days, they remained silent and starving. Until someone offered them raw broad beans, still in their pods. They devoured them hungrily. Only then did they begin to accept other kinds of food, and gradually, the strange green hue of their skin began to fade. The boy, weaker and more fragile, didn't survive. He died just a few weeks later, having never learnt the language of his new surroundings. But the girl lived. She was baptized and named Agnes. In time, she learnt to speak fluent English. And when she finally spoke about where they had come from, her tale was even more unsettling than anyone had expected. She said they came from a land called St. Martin's Land, where the sun never rose. The light there was always dim, like eternal twilight. Everyone in that place had green skin, just like hers, and the entire world seemed bathed in a pale, golden glow. She explained that they had been tending their father's herd when they heard a strange sound, bells ringing in the distance. Curious, they followed the sound through a cave or tunnel, and then, quite suddenly, found themselves blinded by a brilliant light. When they opened their eyes, they were in a completely different world hours. Her descriptions were too vivid to be the invention of a child. And the most unsettling part, Agnes never changed her story. Not once. Even as an adult, married, with children of her own, she maintained the same version of events. That she came from a land of half-light. That she had lost her brother on the journey. And that our world was never meant to be her home. Over the centuries, many have tried to explain the case. Some believe the children were Flemish refugees, displaced by conflict in a nearby region. The green skin, they say, could have been caused by severe malnutrition, a condition known as chlorosis. The strange language? Possibly a regional dialect no one in Woolpit recognized. And the tale of a sunless land? Perhaps nothing more than a traumatized child's attempt to make sense of a harrowing escape. But there are problems with that theory. No known Flemish dialect matched what the villagers described. No other records mention green children hiding in English forests. And more importantly, the story was documented by not one, but two separate medieval chroniclers, Ralph of Coggeshall, an abbot known for his careful records, and William of Newburgh, a cautious historian by all accounts. That they both considered the event worth recording lends weight to its authenticity. If it was simply a fable, why has it persisted for so long? If it was a mistake, why was there no correction? More modern thinkers have offered even stranger possibilities. Some suggest St. Martin's Land might have been a parallel world, a nearby dimension, governed by different rules of light, time, and biology. The sound of the bells might have marked a rift, a crossing point between two realities. And the cave they described? A portal. It's a bold theory, but not without precedent. British folklore is full of tales about fairy rings, strange mushroom circles said to mark the entrances to other realms. Time moves differently there. Visitors return altered, or never at all. Celtic legends tell of glowing underground kingdoms, inhabited by beings both ancient and alien, hidden just beneath our feet. And so, we return to the most unsettling question of all: what if the story of the Green Children wasn't a tale, but a sliver of truth? Woolpit still stands. A quiet, pastoral village. But those who live nearby say the fields around it still carry whispers of that strange day, centuries ago. They say that, on certain silent nights, you can still hear the faint ringing of distant bells, bells that come from nowhere. And every so often, just at the edge of the woods, figures are seen. Small. Still. Watching. Then gone. Is St. Martin's Land still out there, beyond some forgotten tunnel? Are there more green children, waiting to cross over, or trying to return? Or perhaps, and this may be the most unsettling idea of all, they never truly left.